1948, and the city is about to be held ransom. West Germany is part of the Western European economy. The Allies launch a new currency, cementing West Germany's emergence as an independent state. Stalin retaliates. He orders his troops to seal off roads to the German capital. The Berlin Blockade begins.
I was stationed in Germany when the Berlin airlift started. This was an attempt by the Russians to get us out of Berlin.
Marshal Sokolovsky's shutdown of all service transport between the sectors brought Berlin's railways to a stop.
And that was one way they applied pressure, where they blocked off all entrances, rail, air, and Autobahn.
The famous autobahns were deserted, and even canal traffic was at a standstill.
Soviet brutality has been clearly demonstrated across Eastern Europe. Many fear for the lives of West Berliners.
There was only one way open to the beleaguered capital, by air. And at Western Zone airfields, supplies were loaded aboard transports which had been rushed to the scene.
The U.S. government decided we will keep millions of people supplied by air. And the airlift started.
Aircraft had limited carrying capacity in those days and very slow. It started off with the aircraft taking coal, other fuel, food, medical supplies, clothing, whatever, up to sustain the Berliners. After a very short time, it was realized that this just wasn't sufficient.
As winter approaches, something needs to happen fast. The British and American Air Forces come up with a plan.
In order to increase the number of sorties, they had a system where the aircraft would take off from West Germany, fly up the corridor, and land, offload the fuel, and take off straight away. They had enough fuel to get back.
The flight of over 150 miles over Russian territory was accomplished by relays of British and American aircraft, which landed at about 3-minute intervals throughout the night and day.
It's been estimated that 24 hours of the airlift is equivalent in organization and effort to launching 1,000 bomber ray.
There were many, probably hundreds of lives lost, British and American mainly, just through crashes or bad weather or running out of fuel or whatever. So it was costly.
America and Britain prepare for the worst.
Here's the first of the superforts coming into land at Scampton, Lincolnshire. Altogether, 2 B-29 groups comprising 60 superforts were on their way, each aircraft carrying regular and spare crews. In addition, one of them brought a Pomeranian, a mask it may be, or a watchdog.
A B-29 dropped the atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. The B-29 squadron sent to Britain are within range of Moscow.
Asked about the object of their visit, Colonel John Henry, the group commander, said this.
The purpose of our visit is a long-range training flight. We don't know exactly how long we'll be here. We'll be here for a short period of temporary duty.
The threat to the Soviet Union is clear.
We have a right to be in Berlin, and we intend to maintain that right.
We have, of course, a situation in Berlin which may at any time precipitate a hideous world struggle.
It had the possibility of escalating and spinning out of control. It could be a limited confrontation, or it could be all-out war.
The world holds its breath. Will the Americans use their superweapon?